What? What's going on? So, I'm gonna stop like talking about people and singling people out. You know, just make my videos. And if the message differs from someone else's message that I watched previously, I'm not gonna say their name. But I understand that it's kind of something I've been doing the whole time. I've always been referring to the things that I do and then saying where I got the ideas from, and like literally saying, well, Frater Xavier or Uncle Birch or you know, Greg Braden or High Percentage Magic, or you know what I always give references to. And now it seems like I'm just doing the opposite. Same practice, but saying this person's saying this and I don't believe this, and this is why I don't believe this, and whatever the case. So, you know, I'm not trying to diss anybody or whatever, but so I'm just gonna stop saying, well, this person said this and I don't believe that's right. This is why this is right. So, but I'll just give you the proof of why I believe it, and you can make your own decision if you watch, you know, someone who has differing material. So I talked about High Percentage Magic last time. I'm gonna play a little clip from his video, but first, the man, the legend, the person who changed my life. Now, the book Kabbalah and the Great Work of Self-Transformation is a curriculum I do, but if it hadn't been for this man right here, all right, even before, because technically I got into spirituality because I got into law of attraction stuff. But before the law of attraction, I was like in this fear-based media stage, and you know, that definitely helped me. But I was one of those people that were thinking the earth was fucking flat, thinking that the chemtrails were killing us, and you know, they might be, who knows, but was thinking all those, you know, reptilian, Illuminati, crazy celebrity videos were all true and accurate, and you know, and so then law of attraction took me out of that, thinking all positive love and light, and then I found Frater Xavier. So instead of being all negative and then bouncing to all positive, I became imbalanced. So yeah, sorry, I can't really fucking see shit. Anyways, this is shit. I gotta change this a little bit, but I'll just do 30 seconds. But yeah, when I was in the fear-based media, it was necessary. When I was believing everything I saw, you know, I was going from Christian programming, and I was starting to disbelieve in the Christian programming, thinking, you know, Bible, Pope, Vatican, you know, being its own state like Washington and all that shit. I was watching all that, consuming all that. So I was in fear, and you know, my programming was coming down because I wasn't believing in the Christian lie anymore. So then I started seeing all this stuff, and sorry, I wanted to grab onto something. I wanted to believe in something. I wanted to find something real, because you know, when you start losing programming and you start breaking down those walls, you know, you need to fucking find something real. You want to find something real. So these things were like, oh my god, this is scary. It's not the programming I want. So I lost my programming of the Christian background and what I thought the world was, and then I saw all this Illuminati, reptilian, fucking Freemason shit running the world, and the stars are their little pawns, and then the corporations and the pharmacies, pharmakia, you know, the first translation for eventually got changed into witchcraft, which is right in Wikipedia, by the way. But anyways, fuck. Anyways, I was just believing in all this negative stuff. I was in this negative polarity. I was stuck there. I couldn't get out. And then the law of attraction came along, and I believed in that, and I started doing stuff. And part of the reason I am a ceremonial magician and I do witchcraft and things like that is because the law of attraction was like my introduction into magic. But law of attraction, in my opinion, is an incomplete system. It doesn't work. Oh, sorry, I just woke up, getting ready for work. It's an incomplete system. It doesn't work exactly the way it's presented. It's like a couple hermetic laws jammed together, and that's another thing Frederick Xavier said that I believe is accurate. So, but anyways, the point of all this is, you know, before I found Frederick Xavier, someone who taught me how to become depolarized, someone who gave me the book and the curriculum that he works out of, that I decided to work out of. Before I learned how to use the tree of life, and before I got a tarot deck, or the man who was responsible for me getting a tarot deck and all these things, okay, even before I found Birch, Frederick Xavier was the one that brought me into balance, and was the reason I was able to find, obviously not right away, not when I first found him. I mean, I consumed his mystery school. Fuck, I probably watched that fucking playlist, the mystery school playlist, like at least 15 times now, from first video to the 200th, whatever, how many videos he's got in a row there. Holy shit, I can't stop yawning. I guess my brain needs some oxygen, eh? That's what I was taught in school anyways. But anyways, so I'm gonna play him right now, Mr. Frederick Xavier, and this is not to be a troll, and this is not to try to get hits from his shit. And I know I can just share his stuff and people can go watch it there, but I'm trying to explain why I promote reject, banish, deny, why I believe everything starts by thoughts. And your actions will have probably the strongest effect on what you manifest, on how you manifest, on your choices, on all that. And I believe that wholeheartedly. But I believe the thoughts are the first line of defense against depression, against anxiety, against manifesting things right now in the moment and in the future. Because if you accept shitty thoughts and you dwell on them, you know, like, oh, I'm never going to be rich, as a thought you keep having over and over and over again, well, what action are you going to take that's the opposite of that? Like, go finding a job, go working a job. Sure, you can work a job and, you know, you'll have money coming in, but if you still have a lot of bills, taking that action and getting a job, you know, might make you better than you were, but it's just over broke. It might not make you J-O-B, right? It might not make you rich, or whatever the case is. And I'm not saying you're supposed to be rich. All I'm saying is, you know, taking up the practice of saying, no, I reject that thought, and I accept that I will have financial security and financial balance one day. You know, it's going to put you in a better mood, and with practice, you'll stop having those thoughts. Just like with practice, when you take up this practice of rejecting the quote-unquote negative, and I think that's the wrong term, but like harmful self-talk, basically. When you start rejecting your harmful self-talk, okay, then you start changing your life. And this is the first place I have learned that. And then I read it in the book, and then I've heard it from other gurus since, but, you know, anyways.
And you'll understand why that's funny in a moment. But the most popular definition of magic was defined by Aleister Crowley, and he defined magic as the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. And that definition is both accurate and misleading at the same time. See, it could be my will to have a turkey sandwich. I don't have to go to my temple and perform a ritual to get a turkey sandwich. I can just go to the fridge and make one. And you say, well, that's not magic. But it is magic. As defined by Crowley, I cause change to occur in conformity with my will. But see, that definition is both accurate and misleading. Because to the magician, everything you think, everything you say, everything you do, everything around you and everything within you is magic. And since everything is magic, it cancels itself out. Therefore, there's no such thing as magic. I personally don't even like the term magic, to be honest. It carries a lot of stereotypes with it. I might instead call it, I don't know, life? Maybe? You see, everybody performs magic, whether they know it or not. And that's why it's so funny when people say that magic is of the devil, because they themselves are performing magic on a continuous basis without even knowing. And ritualistic magic at that in churches. And I've heard it once said before that every thought is a prayer and every word is a spell. And that's a fairly good starting point when it comes to beginning to understand what magic really is. So what's the deal with ceremonial magic if everyone's performing magic? Well, the magician knows how to control his magic by utilizing hermetic principles and higher laws to his advantage. That's it. As far as the basics go. You see, you don't have to dress in robes and perform rituals and get all the props and light all the candles in the dark room and conjure spirits to perform magic. The adept certainly doesn't have to. The adept can perform magic anytime, anywhere, within his own mind and be quite successful at it. Now, I want you to try something. Anytime you have a negative thought, I want you to treat it as an offer for you to either accept or reject. Obviously, if it's a negative thought, you're going to want to reject that. So you say, I reject that thought. You don't have to say it out loud. It's more powerful if you do. But you just say it in your head. I reject that thought. On the flip side, if you have a positive thought, you say, I accept that thought. And do that for 3 months. And start to see how much your life begins to change by that one practice alone. And it takes 3 months because you still got incoming crap coming your way. But after you reject the thoughts or accept them, stop thinking about it. Let it go. If they come back, reject them again. And by doing this, you'll start to condition yourself and train yourself to control your magic that you're already doing anyway, without the need for ritual and props and chants. Those things have their place and reasons, which we'll get into more a little bit later on. But you might say, how am I supposed to monitor my thoughts all the time? Well, just like anything else, it takes practice. After 3 months, it'll just become habit. And understand that this just isn't with thoughts. This is with anything that people say to you, anything you read, anything you hear. You might not be able to control your thoughts, or the things people say to you, or the things you come across, or the things you hear. But you can flip the switch between yes and no. You can certainly do that and begin to take control. Now, you'd be surprised how many people curse themselves by the things that they think and the things that they say, and also the things that they do. I was one of them. See, I'm not talking about anything beyond my experience. I know one guy, I've known him since, we were teenagers. Well, I was a teenager. He was early 20s. And I talk to him now on the phone, and the guy is the most negative person you ever talked to in your life. I talked to him for over, I don't know, I guess an hour and a half, and not one positive thing came out of his mouth. And I pointed it out to him, and he's just, oh, yeah, well, whatever, you know. But he spews negativity just constantly, and then he wonders why his life's shit. And I'm not talking shit as in just bad. I'm talking as in the most ridiculous things happen to this guy, you know, that defy all odds. And it just blows your mind. But that's the magic that he's performing upon himself. See? Because everything you think and everything you say has a charge. And that charge is either going to be negative or it's going to be positive. It is either going to bless you or it's going to curse you. And this is just simple stuff, people. This is just simple, basic principles here. You know, and I know a girl who's angry all the time, well, most of the time. You know, poorly aspected Mars. We'll get into that a little later on, but she has a lot of anger and violence returned to her. She took her kid to school one time, got out of the car, got hit by a bus. And I shouldn't be laughing, but as she's laying there in the street, an impatient lady who wanted to leave got angry with her for laying in the street, so she couldn't get out. So she got out of the car and started fighting with her. And she's the one that ended up losing in court because she was too argumentative. See, you got to get used to this idea that what you put out there is going to return to you. That's just Magic 101 before anything else. And it's amazing how many people don't get this. So you're already performing the magic anyway with what you're saying and what you're doing. So be attentive to what you're putting out there. And in the next lesson, I'm going to explain why this all works the way it does. And that's my cue. See you next time. Alright, that was Frater. So now let's try or listen to high percentage magic and see if it's similar or... Anyways, here he is, high percentage magic.
Hello and welcome. So today we're going to look at beginning magic. Now this is a question that I sometimes run across, or should I say, I get emailed about. I get asked, how should I start in magic? What should I do? And this is a very broad question, and it's a question that actually thousands of people have. There are several categories, but the three main ones are, first of all, the ones that are interested in the power that magic can potentially give them. That's what they want to explore. The second group are the spiritual seekers. They want an alternative spiritual system that is very different and apart from the main religions out there. They want something more personalized, something smaller, something seemingly more natural to them. And the third group are the ones that are kind of like fooling themselves. They're the ones that just want to show off a bit for the ego. They want to paint themselves up to look cool. Buffy the Vampire Slayer type, the Hollywood version with the heavy gothic look. Now there's nothing wrong with that if that's always been something you've worn and something you're drawn into, but you've got to ask yourself the question, why? What's the purpose? What's the reason you want to do magic? And if it is just for the ego, then magic isn't for you. You can just dress up and do what you want, but you're not really pursuing magic. But for the ones that really are interested in the spiritual aspect and in practicing something that humankind has actually practiced from the dawn of civilization, then it becomes very interesting. How do you begin? And through the ages, we have progressed through gematria or gematria, conjuration, the invocation of spirits, and evocation of spirits, which is actually a more advanced practice because you can run into some difficulties. I sometimes have discussions with people that say, oh, why do I need a protective circle? Why do I need that? Nothing really. What's the worst that can happen? And I say, okay, well, you know, when you get into a car, why do you wear a seatbelt? And they say, oh, it's the law. Yeah, but why do you wear it? Why is there a law? What's happened in the past? Because in those rare cases where an accident happens, you're maimed. You're damaged quite badly. And that actually can happen psychologically to a lot of people, and also physically and emotionally. And you don't know what energies can enter your sphere of sensation. Some people are very sensitive. Some people can go for years without using a magic circle, and then just one unfortunate incident can bring a lot of problems into their lives, especially financially, funnily enough. There was a case of a fairly famous occultist, although he's not very good at it, but he's fairly well known. When he started in Goetia, he didn't abide to any of the circle rules, and he was doing quite well until one day his house burnt down. Then he had a heart attack. So, in the rare cases that something goes wrong, it is like a seatbelt. Another analogy is, why do you need to brush your teeth? Well, you don't. But after many years, after several years of getting away with not brushing your teeth, guess what happens? It catches up to you, and your teeth rot. You have immense pain. You can get mouth cancer. So was it worth it? So anyway, it's up to you if you want to do this, but you'd be foolish not to implement safeguards, because at the very least, if nothing happens, nothing happens. And if you have a safeguard and something does happen, nothing will happen to you. You see what I mean? So anyway, let's move on. So there's a lot out there that you should research. I encourage you to research. Not enough people actually research. They have a McDonald's approach. They say, oh, I want to learn this. Give me that. Give me this. Without ever researching. Now, I get some great questions from my subscribers. I love you guys. You guys are very good. But every now and again, I get some really selfish types, not even subscribing to the channel. They feel entitled. They'll just come up, not even a good greeting, and I'll say, I want this. Give me a link. Tell me how to do it. And I just laugh at them. But I often tell them, hey, so what have you found on that subject? What have you found about that very thing you want to do? And guess what? They haven't even taken time to research anything. So these people are failures anyway. They shouldn't be dabbling in magic. They can't focus. I do feel sorry for some of them because maybe they do have mental conditions. However, the first step is you got to put the time to research. Now, you have to research something you're interested in. So why do you want to take up magic? Be honest. Make a list. Then start researching different magical systems. There are a lot. And within those magical systems, there are also subsystems. I'm getting tongue-tied again. And you'll get into things like astrology, Kabbalah, the tarot, Hermetic magic, forms of witchcraft, forms of conjuration, gematria, all kinds of things. So then research the positives and the negatives. You got to spend hours really researching. If you don't want to do that, magic's not for you. Because magic works when you have the ability to focus and concentrate, draw down that energy, And I know a lot of systems don't teach you that well. But anyway, you got to draw down that energy. I can teach you how. And then use that united combination of energies as well as your will, and projecting all of that into your ritual or your working. Okay? Some people say, oh, I don't want to get into fancy things. Why do I need this? Why do I need that? Minimalism's the way to go. I agree with you. However, you cannot be able to have that kind of power in the beginning. It's like saying, all right, you want to build muscle, you're a skinny person. Walk into a gym and lift 100 or 120 kilos. It's 250 or 300 pounds for the very first time. Are you going to do it? I doubt it. And if you did on the way try, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to drop that bar. You're going to do some damage to your back. And then you'll be out. You won't be able to practice for a long time. So research the different types. There are lots of different types. There are lots of con artists out there as well, so be aware of that. There are a lot of manipulators and agenda-driven people that have something good and then they mix it with something bad. So you have to be clear with your intention and what you want to do. Make a list, positives and negatives of each different system. Ceremonial magic, ritual magic, witchcraft, Wicca, different types of paganism, neo-paganism, whatever you want. Do the research. And then also go by feeling. Does that feel good for you? Does that feel a bit weird? Is it something you want to do or not? Does it go against your principles? Don't do anything that really goes against your principles. At least not until you've explored it fully by questioning. Okay? The questioning doesn't mean that like you'll say, oh, I don't believe that works, it's never going to work for me, without trying it yourself. You're just going to ask, okay, how does that procedure work? What does it actually do? Are there any harmful aspects? That's the right kind of questioning, I mean. Okay, because if you doubt magic works, then it's not for you. Do something different. Also, meditation. Can you meditate? Have you tried? Really research what meditation is deeply, because done properly, meditation will give you the ability to silence your mind, quieten down, and then focus your energies when you need to. That's a very valuable tool in magic. Okay? Here's a simple exercise. Actually, I'll give you 2 exercises to do over the course of the next month. If you can do it for 3 months, then you're going to come out much stronger, and you've actually done a foundation course in magic, the essentials. It's like this. So every time you receive a negative opinion or criticism about yourself, or even a negative thought that pops up in your mind, acknowledge that as being negative and reject it. You can reject it out loud or to yourself. I would say it out loud, and if you can, write it down. Say, I reject it, then crunch up that paper, rip it up, throw it away, roll it in a ball, throw it away in the trash. And do the opposite. Every time you receive a positive opinion or praise or a positive thought, accept it. Okay? Now this exercise, I think other people have used it. It goes way back. It's a Kabbalistic exercise that goes way back into, I think, the 18th century. I saw a book on it. I can't remember if it was I can't remember his name. Liszewski. Oh, geez, I can't remember. Sorry. I kind of like mangled that name up. But anyway, I saw it in that book, and I know others use it in Hermetic magic. So do that for a month. So when you catch yourself thinking something negative, say, I reject that. And if someone says something that is trying to pull you down, you make sure you say, I reject that to your mind. Reject it, okay? And accept all the positive. You'll see a massive change happen in your life when you do that, okay? You start to rewire your system, your responses, your energy levels will not be affected negatively, and they will be bolstered positively. Secondly, like I mentioned before, please write down what is your aim, what is your goal in magic. Start writing, start researching, find out all the different systems, the positive systems, the negative systems, the strange systems, the Western systems, the Eastern systems. It's going to take you a lot of time. And only after doing a lot of research will you know if taking up magic is for you. Okay? All right, so this is the first part I'm going to finish for today because I think around the 13, 14-minute mark is long enough. So I hope that has answered some of your questions. I didn't want to go over the same points as everybody else has done on YouTube. I wanted to give you something a little bit different, something a little bit fresher, but something that makes you proactive and go out there and research things for yourself. You really need the skill, the desire, the ability, the intent and passion to research.
So there you have it. Reject, banish, deny, and accept. If you can do it for 3 months, do it for 3 months. I say you need to do it forever until you stop having those negative thoughts, until someone says something bad to you and you automatically say, you know, even if you have the balls to say it out loud, that's your opinion, but that's not how I think. But I mean, even if you don't, as long as it's in your head, you say, yeah, no, I reject that thought, and I accept that the opposite is true. Anything like that, it's an automatic procedure now in me. It's an automatic habit. It's something I did for longer than 21 consecutive days, for longer than 3 months in a row. At the beginning, I really had to stick to it. And at the beginning, I could only do it at certain times. And, you know, at the beginning, I was focusing on sigil magic and my ritual and all these different ways I thought to get power and be able to do magic, you know. And now, when it comes down to it, this is the single most important fucking thing I do probably over and over again that truly manifests what I want in real time, faster than anything else. And more importantly, it banishes the shitty shit I don't want in my life. It stops the curses that people send at me. It stops the curses I do to myself. So anyways, I hope you understood what I was trying to get through here and what they're trying to get through. I'll put the links below because these two people I really respect and I don't want them to be pissed off at me and think I'm clickbaiting or using their stuff just to promote my own stuff, because that's not it. I want to promote them. I want you guys to see how important this practice is. And I want you guys to go check their shit out because they have way more important stuff on there that could really help you out. But the fact that they're saying the same thing that I'm saying, the reason I'm saying it is because I heard it from these guys, you know? So anyways, hope you enjoy. Have a great fucking day.